When I was lovingly kissing the picture of Leon, my long-distance crush, Jenna saw me. She quickly rushed over to take my phone, but I skillfully dodged, causing her to fall flat on the ground. Geez, we're twin sisters, yet you hide everything from me. Feeling sorry, I showed Jenna his picture. Fine, here he is. Ooh, he looks good. Really? He's coming home next week and we're going on our first date. Nice. I'll help you out. I blushed, clutching the phone to my heart, daydreaming about our date and unaware that Jenna was forming a mysterious smile. Right. One thing that I never told Leon was that Jenna and I look completely the same. Leon and I had been chatting online for a long time. When I wasn't home, Jenna received a Christmas gift that Leon sent me and a postcard with very endearing words. Another Christmas, and you're still my favorite. She mischievously asked me a lot about him and kept praising Leon as her idol. That summer, he once again surprised me with news that he'd be returning home for a month. I really look forward to the day I can finally meet you, Anne. I just know our date will be amazing. Excitedly, I told Jenna, and she immediately helped me to prepare the most dazzling look and enthusiastically applied a beauty mask for me every night. But unfortunately, while I was wearing a mask and watching a movie one time, I fell asleep. By the next morning, the mask on my face was terribly dry. The real nightmare came when I removed it and saw some red pimples appeared all over my face. I shouted in horror, "Jenna, save me! Leon will return home tomorrow. I can't meet him in this state." She sighed. "It's just a few pimples, sis. It's fine." "No! I must meet him in my best form, but I don't want to cancel or reschedule our date." After thinking for a while, we finally came up with a solution. Jenna would go to my dates in my place until the pimples go away. Whew! I followed Jenna to the date and sat at a nearby table to listen to them. Luckily, everything went well. Leon didn't seem to notice anything suspicious. Haha, my sister was quite an actress. Way to go, sis. Suddenly, Leon took her hand. "Anne, I've waited for this day for forever. Would you like us to be an official couple?" My heart suddenly tightened. I should have been the one hearing those words. Surprisingly, Jenna hugged Leon tightly and kissed his cheek. "Of course, my love." Okay, that was a bit too real to be an act. I just wanted to rush over and to stop them right then, but all I could do was sit quietly. Jenna passionately took Leon's hand. "I want to go somewhere more romantic, okay?" "Sure. Everything for my lady." They both got in the car and left. I hurriedly followed them, but unfortunately, there was no taxi around. Their car slowly faded away, and I depressedly walked home alone. When Jenna came back from the date, I was ready to beat her up. But I was shocked when she started sobbing. "Sis, Leon is a jerk. He was trying to have his way with me. Luckily, I escaped." Seeing Jenna in such a state broke my heart. I held her in my arms and felt guilty for dragging her into this mess. After that day, Leon stopped texting me. He had blocked me as well, so no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't contact that bastard. However, I noticed that Jenna was leaving the house quite late one evening. And what? I also saw Leon standing in front of our house. They met and kissed in the dark. Why would Jenna continue to date that jerk? Something is fishy. Another night during a phone call between Jenna and Leon, I learned that they were going to meet at the mall. While Jenna was putting on makeup, I said, "Can I borrow your phone for a bit? Mine is broken, and I need to do a quick group call with my friends." She lent me the phone, and I quickly texted Leon to cancel their date. Jenna was still unaware of my action and blissfully went to the mall. I secretly followed Jenna to watch the embarrassing scene of her being stood up. Then I would surprisingly jump out to laugh at her face. But no! It was me and my sister who were surprised. We saw Leon kissing another girl. Jenna rushed to him. "Leon, you betrayed me? What the hell is this? Who is she?" Leon looked alarmed. "Jenna, why are you here?" You told me to cancel our date. My sister burst into tears at that moment. I came out to hug her and said firmly to Leon, I was the one who texted you, and I'm the real Anne. This is all a stupid mess, but thanks to it, I learned your real face. You disgusting cheater! Jenna angrily gave Leon a slap and turned away, leaving him dazzled. The two of us left together. After a moment of silence, she confessed everything. I'm so sorry, sis. I had a crush on Leon. I wanted him so bad. I lied that you had changed numbers, so he texted me instead. Oh gosh, Jenna. What about him attacking you? Did you make that up too? Yes. I sighed and hugged my foolish twin. All right. At least thanks to that, we get to see his true face. We're safe now. That's what matters. After that incident, Jenna and I no longer contacted Leon. Instead, Jenna and I took more time to understand each other. After that, whenever a guy wants to approach me, Jenna always quietly protects me from afar as a way to atone for her past mistakes.
At the funeral of my adoptive mom, when my adoptive dad and I had just stepped out of the funeral home, we were suddenly surrounded by a group of reporters. They were rudely taking pictures and attacking us with non-stop questions. Dad angrily pushed the crowd aside and just left, leaving me behind. Dad, wait! Help me! Even though I was stuck behind and kept calling him for help, he still drove away. Hi, I'm Giselle. I used to be an orphan who desperately wished for a happy family. Surprisingly, a few months ago, my wish came true when I was adopted by the Green family. Not only nice and kind, my adoptive parents were also famous. Dad is Victor Green, a conductor, and Mom is Samantha Green, a singer. Everything was like a dream when suddenly tragedy struck. Mom was diagnosed with a terminal cancer and passed away soon after. Dad was so shocked and heartbroken that he gradually became depressed and no longer cared about everything around him. Not even me. 6 months after the death of my mom, Dad still hadn't stepped out of the house. He was always locking himself in his room and kept quiet. One day, my school sent out a notice of payment for the upcoming field trip. I really didn't want to bother Dad at all, but I needed to ask him for that money. I mustered up the courage to knock on the door. Dad, can I see you? I need to...
Leave, Giselle. Don't bother me now.
I could only sigh heavily. As I was lying on the sofa thinking about how to make money, I suddenly remembered my violin. Right, I could use it to perform on the street. I've seen people do that and they make a decent amount of money. Immediately, I took my violin and went to a crowded street to perform. I tried to hide myself with a hat and glasses so that people wouldn't recognize me as a Green. At first, everything went quite smoothly. The passerby were more than happy to give me small tips. Looking at the violin case slowly being filled with money, I was extremely excited. But then, things got crazy when 2 policemen came.
You're arrested.
Why?
Don't you see? This is a restricted area where street performances are prohibited.
Please forgive me, it's my first time here.
Anyone who was arrested said that.
After saying that, they confiscated my violin case. But when they weren't paying attention, I snatched it back and fled. Unfortunately, I was so rushed that I tripped over a can and fell painfully. My eyeglasses and hats also fell to the ground, and immediately the commotion attracted the attention of everyone on the road. Look, isn't that the adopted daughter of the Green family? Everyone turned their gazes to me and kept taking pictures. It was truly an embarrassing sight. Immediately after, I was taken to the police station. I had no choice but to call Dad to bail me out. He was very angry when he saw me in that situation.
How shameful, Giselle. Performing on the street and letting the news of your arrest spread on social media? You're ruining your mother's reputation.
I'm sorry, Dad. I just wanted to...
Stop! You should apologize to your mother.
Dad kept scolding me without giving me a chance to explain. After a few weeks of being grounded, things gradually calmed down. One day, Nancy, a friend and colleague of Dad's, suddenly came to find him. She wanted him to finish the music soon for an upcoming tour as the whole orchestra was waiting for him. Dad hesitantly agreed, then quickly told me to see Nancy off. Before getting into the car, Nancy told me with a sigh, Giselle, you know, this tour is extremely important. The whole orchestra depends on your father. As someone close to him, I hope you can help him get his spirits back. Hearing her request, I knew I had to do something. In order to make the family atmosphere joyful again and bring back my mom's presence, I tried to do her daily routine when she was alive. Every day, I put new flowers in the vase, turned on music to wake up the whole family at 7 a.m., and make my dad a cup of tea before work. However, Dad was always putting on a tired look and asked me to stop what I was doing. Although a bit discouraged, I persisted with my plan. That day, I decided to go to Mom's vocal practice room to clean up. Since her death, it had never been opened and had gathered a lot of dust. When I was rearranging her desk, I happened to find a piece of music that was half-written. Picking it up, I realized it was the song that Nancy was talking about. When I was engrossed in what I found, Dad suddenly came in and startled me that I dropped the vase on the table.
Look at what you just did. It's your mom's favorite vase. Please, could you stop causing trouble?
Please don't scold me. I'm only trying to help.
Help? Samantha never put honey in her tea and never liked the music you played every morning. You're just so troublesome.
If I was troublesome, why did you adopt me?
For Samantha. She loved you and always wanted a daughter, and I was never ready for that. I did it for her.
My dad's words shocked me. Turns out, he never wanted me in the first place. I burst into tears and went back to my room. That night, I depressedly thought to myself, should I leave this house? Taking my violin to the balcony, I played the music I found in my mom's room. At the missing part of the track, I added my own composition. Suddenly, Dad appeared. His face lit up with surprise and his eyes filled with tears.
Well then, I'm sorry for hurting you. You know, Samantha has always been the inspiration for all my creations. Since she passed away, I no longer have any will to live on.
If you were the one who passed away, would you want her to be as sad and miserable as you are right now? I'm begging you. I know you're heartbroken, but it's time to stop mourning. Live happily for your wife and complete the unborn music of you both. After that talk, a miracle happened. Dad began to regain his spirit and continued composing. However, when things were slowly getting better, a surprise came again. While Dad and I were cooking together, his phone rang. He was busy, so he asked me to answer for him. It was a call from the orphanage. My heart broke when I heard the message on the other end of the line. Turns out, Dad made an application to return me to the orphanage, and they called to confirm whether he wanted to continue to complete the application or not. Dad, what does this mean? Do you want to throw me away?
Giselle, let me explain. In my despair, I had mistakenly done it, but now I've changed my mind.
Despite his explanation, I angrily left my house. I stayed at my bestie's place for the next few days and angrily cut off all contact with Dad. Until one day, I suddenly received a call from Nancy. The show was about to start, but nobody could contact Dad. They went to his house to look for him, but he was nowhere to be found. Giselle, can you help me find him? I can't, I'm sorry, Nancy, but he doesn't want to see me. He wanted me to return to the orphanage. Really? That's weird, because your dad asked me to find a good music school for you to attend and develop your talent. Nancy's words surprised me. Maybe what Dad said the other day was true. He had changed and really wanted the best for me. I needed to find him urgently. After thinking for a while, I suddenly realized that the only place Dad could go was my mom's grave. It's where he always goes whenever he needs space and can't talk with anyone. I immediately went there and thank God he was there indeed. Dad was very happy to see me and kept apologizing for what he had done. I agreed to forgive him and advised him to return to the concert because everyone was waiting. Luckily, we made it in time before the show started. Seeing Dad so happy and dedicated on stage made me feel warm inside. We finally made up after so many challenges. Now he looks much happier and has started a new life. When my family and I were shopping, suddenly a security guard blocked our way and grabbed my hand.
Girl, the camera recorded you stealing a necklace worth $200 from a jewelry store. You must follow me.
Me? You've mistaken. I struggled and turned my pleading eyes to my family. They were also panicking. After checking the camera again, the guard discovered that he was wrong. The thief was not me, but Linda, my twin sister. Immediately, she was taken away. Hi, I'm Pretty. It wasn't the first time I was confused with my sister. Also, it wasn't the first time she caused trouble. Although we looked similar, we were like chalk and cheese. While I was a top student, Linda was a saucy troublemaker and especially liked to steal. I hated her so much. After apologizing and paying for the item, my parents were extremely angry. They grounded Linda for a long time and warned, "That's enough, Linda. Stealing is bad. You can't keep doing it." I'm sorry, it's just I can't control myself.
No more excuses. If this happens again, we'll definitely send you to a reformatory.
Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. If Linda didn't change, she'd get her butt whooped. A few weeks later, my parents' work in Africa went wrong, so they had to fly there. Before boarding the plane, they still carefully told me to watch over Linda while they were away. No, but have you forgotten? I'm going to Florida for a speech contest. How can I be her nanny? Please, you know we can't just leave her alone. She'll cause trouble again. Take Linda with you, okay? For my parents' peace of mind, I reluctantly agreed to let Linda accompany me. In the days that followed, I spent all my time focusing on my contest instead of worrying about Linda. The last incident had probably taught her a lesson. But it seems I was wrong. The evening before going to Florida, after packing for us, I stretched out on the sofa to relax. Suddenly, Linda walked up to me and said, "You look exhausted." "Yep, thanks to the contest and you." "I'm sorry, okay? I don't want this either. Can I make it up to you?" A moment later, Linda bought me a glass. "Here, I prepared it myself. It'll help you relax." That is sus. Why is she so kind to me? But seeing her enthusiasm, I shrugged and downed it. Wow, her drink was actually good. I couldn't remember how much I drank before I fell asleep. The next morning, when I woke up, my head hurt like hell. I hurriedly grabbed my watch to check, only to find out that there was only 20 minutes left until our flight. I hurriedly woke my sister up and hailed a cab to the airport. Please, God, please let us be on time. But no, the plane had taken off without us. And not only that, in a hurry, Linda had left our luggages, including our money, in the cab. The cab company told me it'd take a few days for us to get them back. No way! My contest was only 1 day away. Our remaining money was not enough to buy new plane tickets. I desperately called my parents for help, but the signal in their area was bad, so I couldn't reach them. I returned home disappointed. Linda messed up again. I yelled angrily at her. "What did you give me to drink?" "Wine mixed with fruit juice." "Wine? You brat, you did it on purpose, didn't you?" "Don't blame me, you even said it was good." An argument quickly broke out and we both went back to our room in anger. When I was hugging my pillow and crying, Linda suddenly reappeared. "Stop whining, sis. We still have a chance." I checked and saw that it takes 12 hours to drive from here to Florida. If we go now, we'll make it in time for your contest. "But we've never driven that far." "So you want to give up?" Realizing that was the only way, I quickly gathered all the money we had left and set off. At first, because we were still angry, Linda and I didn't talk nor even glanced at each other for the whole trip. But then an unexpected incident happened. After traveling for hours, we had to stop at a roadside gas station. My stomach suddenly hurt, so I immediately ran to the bathroom while Linda was refueling the car. Then, when I came out of there, I witnessed a horrible scene. A man was grabbing Linda's arm and pulling her away. She screamed in fear. "Pretty, help! He's a pervert!" Immediately, with superpower speed, I rushed to punch the man, causing him to roll on the road, then quickly pulled Linda into the car. We drove away immediately. Linda and I looked at each other in fear, panting heavily. Then we burst into the biggest laughter ever because that was just so crazy. But it was not over. While traveling on an empty road, the car suddenly stopped. No matter what I did, it still couldn't restart. Immediately, I called a rescue team, but they took too long to arrive. That night, Linda and I had to spend the night in our car. It was very cold that night. My whole body shivered. Suddenly, Linda gave me the only blanket we had. Oh, my foolish sister. She was shivering too. I hugged her tightly. Linda was embarrassed by my sudden action. I mustered up all my courage and asked her the question that had been in my mind for so long. "Sis, why are you always stealing?" I don't know either. I tried, but couldn't control myself from the desire to steal. My whole body becomes restless and uncomfortable. It's like being sick. Why don't you tell our parents about this? You need a psychologist's help, Linda. I tried, but they always ignored it. They thought I was making excuses. We fell into silence. Looking at Linda's emotional eyes, I believed she was telling the truth. The next morning, the rescue team finally arrived. After the car was repaired, we continued on our way. The rest of the trip was more joyous. We talked and sang happily. Occasionally, we even stopped by the side of the road to take pictures. After nearly 24 hours of driving with my sister, we finally arrived in Florida. Standing in front of the building where my contest took place, we both happily jumped. Soon after, Linda helped me with my makeup and hairdo. When I thought that everything was finally okay, trouble happened again. When I came out of the makeup room, a policeman was holding a portrait of Linda and asking the people around. I immediately turned to my sister. Linda, the police are looking for you. What happened? Dang it. It's probably because of what happened at the gas station. They want to catch me. What? But where are the victims? No, actually, that man wasn't a perv. I stole his wallet and got caught. What? Linda! What should I do? If Mom and Dad knew this, I'd be sent to a reformatory. I was shocked when I learned the truth. As for Linda, her face turned pale from fear. Seeing her pitiful appearance, I gritted my teeth determinedly. Alright, here goes nothing. I purposefully walked in front of the policeman to confess. Since we looked very familiar, the police quickly handcuffed me and took me away. Linda was beyond shocked when she saw that, while I just silently signaled her to leave. I was taken to the police station to make a statement. They told me I'd need someone to bail me out. Sitting alone in the interrogation room, I was terrified, but I was glad that I had helped Linda. What she did was wrong, but she deserved a chance to start over. After a while, the door to the interrogation room opened. I was surprised when the person walking in was my sister. Linda, what are you doing here? Pretty, thank you, but I already confessed everything to the police. Are you crazy? You'll be sent to a reformatory. I know, but I can't let you pay for my mistake. Sorry for making you miss your contest. It's no problem. You're much more important than that contest. My sister and I cried and hugged each other. A few days later, Mom and Dad bailed Linda out. Fortunately, the owner of the stolen wallet forgave us. I told our parents everything that happened and begged for another chance for Linda. After thinking, luckily they agreed. Since that incident, Linda began to change. She went to see a psychologist for help and got so much better. We're all living happily now.